it's like right here. To be like just like you know, just going up goes up. To be a genuine Scottish person, you need to swear more. I'm just being professional. Okay, but are there children here? No. Great. I'll teach you some choice words later. Okay, choice words. All right, you guys. I can teach you one right now, which sure. Bad for. Is it a C word? Because you guys like that one, I don't say it. We use the C word as like an adjective. I know. So you guys are. It's interesting. It's the Buckies of England. Of the UK. Buckies of the UK. Ball bag. Ball bag. B-A-W. Bag. Ball bag. Oh, ball bag. Can you guess what a ball bag is? Testicles? It wasn't that hard. And you can call people a ball bag, but he's a ball bag. Did you know that you can get red light therapy for your balls in underwear form? I don't know why I know this. This is becoming my favorite panel. I don't know why, when I Googled something, it came up, but it was a thong underwear for men, and it's just all, you know, the ladies you've seen on TikTok, they put this weird mask on their face with a red light. God bless us as ladies. We are brainwashed into consuming everything stupid. But some man got some red light for his balls, and he's stupider. So just look it up, and I promise you it exists, and if it works for you, please anonymously tweet me. All of my Instagram is just tarot and cats. Tarot and cats, okay. Mine is cheap Italian houses and obscure artisanal bakeries in Los Angeles. Oh, that's way better than tarot and cats. No, tarot and cats is good. I'm a middle-aged cat woman. I moved to America to be a middle. This is good. How many cats you got? I got one big fat boy called Pat. Nothing. That's nothing. You can get more. I think 2 cats, right? 2 cats is good. 5? Don't talk to my mom. She's up to 7. I'm like, Mom, I'm angry at you, and I'm not talking to you unless you, anyway, let's not go into that. My friend sent last night. Anyway, my friend sent me a picture of kitten and went, hey, an orange kitten, maybe an orange sibling from Mackie's Orange. And I was like, no, I'm really trying to get laid over here, man. But listen, if a man will have intercourse with you because you have 2 orange cats, that guy's not worth having. That's right. I've learned a lot on this panel. You're welcome. Balls, how to get laid. Have you heard of truck nuts? Does anybody have any truck nuts? Nobody has nuts on their truck? No. What kind of fucking Texas panel is that? Please explain. What does that mean? They're nuts for your truck. I don't know how much clearer I can be, lady. Wait a minute. My truck. We are not familiar in my land with nuts for the truck. They're literally nuts for your truck. Where do you put them? You put them on where the license plate, right? Am I right? You put them on the trailer hitch, exactly. Why does everybody know about them and not have them? You don't want them? You drive a truck and you don't want any truck nuts? What about truck labia? Listen, we should equal opportunity this. That would be startling. It was like, I was picturing a bag of like chopped nuts. No. Just look it up, man. I can't wait. I was like, how do you think I could get it from IKEA? The IKEA ones would be smooth. I don't know if you want those. For my car, do you think it would be okay for my little Kia Soul? Yes. Your Soul has truck nuts. It's just the tiny ones. I don't think it's a big ball kind of car. Welcome to the panel, you guys. Welcome to the panel. This is the tone of every panel. You know, when you were saying earlier, you'd be looking at the window. Yeah. First, I would be across the street looking at you from the other window. Really? Were you homeschooled? No, I just looked in a house. It's different. I was just a sad, boyfriendless nerd that liked to play guitar and write songs about boys. That's hot. I know. No, it was not hot in the 90s. No. It's very, well, that was very Winona Ryder-esque. Was she your hero because she was
my hero too.
No, I was kind of slightly rotund and I wore all cord.
By choice or because your mom made it? Because that homemade corduroy, I don't know about that one.
My choice.
Oh, well, listen, I'm never going to judge anybody.
I can see the sadness in your eyes.
It's just, corduroy is a disgusting fabric. I mean, I just cannot, the idea of wearing corduroy or being around corduroy is literally repulsive to me. So sensorily, I wouldn't want to touch you at that age, which is probably good.
I'm in the house across the street.
Yeah, so we would have been like this, and I'm like, don't come over.
Holding up notes like, do not enter here, leave me alone.
I mean, for me, my heart goes out to any awkward teenager because I feel like you are at the prime of your life, and when people are adults, they will write about this time that you're experiencing in your life as the heyday, and yet you right now are not enjoying every single moment of being you. And that makes me sad. If I could only go back and be like, girl, you don't know what big guys are. Just love what you have, please. And I get it, it's probably something, it's all societal, especially with girls, and that's why my daughter will never have a phone. I'm not kidding.
I was wanting to ask that about your little one, about your daughter. How old is your daughter?
She's 8 years old.
So do you protect your daughter from certain things? Is she also homeschooled, or?
She's not. She goes to a very hippie school where they do, in fact, have roller skating lessons as curriculum. So yeah, that's the kind of mom I am. I definitely shelter her from, I don't show her violent things. When people come up to me and they're like, here's my 3-year-old, he loves Supernatural, I'm like, what are you saying right now? I'm not going to tell you how to parent, but I am concerned. It feels a little ambitious for a kid, but yeah, she definitely stays within her rating group for her consumption, which I appreciate that the world does that for us. I let her game probably too much, but I never let her watch YouTube unsupervised because I started there. I know it's there. She doesn't do any social media, but again, I think as parents, we just need to educate ourselves and be like, what are we comfortable with? And make sure that creepy strangers aren't playing games with them, and I think they'll be fine, but I'm pretty particular. I don't share pictures of her online anymore. I did early on, just to funnel money to her and Ira. I'm just kidding. And so then, she's old enough, she didn't choose to be, publicly known, so she shouldn't be, right? And so that's just my choice. Again, other parents might choose differently, but we are all just doing our best, right? And if we have it in our mind, I'm trying to do my best, I'm probably better than three other people out there, right? So the fact that I'm conscious of it and I understand, having been, in the public eye and been on social media for so long, I'm like, this is very destructive and I'm an adult, so let's not do this until you're older. So the one thing I do actually is I do put what is it, $30 or $40 into a bank account. It automatically goes into a bank account that I have set up. It's a savings account that I will give her when she's 16 if she doesn't use social media until then. And so by the time she's 16, there should be $5,000 in there, which to me is that is a fortune for especially a 16-year-old. So this is incentive for her to just not, even $10 a month would do it. You just add up the month. So that's the one thing. I will bribe my daughter to be a better person, and that's my parent advice for today.
Were there, when I was 8 or 9, I accidentally watched RoboCop.
Oh, my mom took me to Aliens.
Yes.
I remember being traumatized, and then she was like, just go sit outside, honey. So I just sat on the bench. I remember just sitting on the bench while Alien was in. My younger brother was fine with it, but I was traumatized by seeing Bambi. And, I was that poor. I don't know, I don't want to think about it. His mom died. Why? Why are we showing this to children? Listen, every kid is different. Yes. And that's the hard part and the good part. So you just have to the one thing that I do think is really important is just listen to your kid, there's no spoiling them, there's no being too easy on them, in my opinion, because you're the safe thing. You're the thing in their life that they would hopefully come back to if they're in a bad place. And if you're not safe, then they're not going to do that. And so that's my rationale too. you know, being a little more probably lenient and a little too paying attention to their feelings or more, but you know, she's gonna need therapy at some point anyway, so like, let's just have fun.
I think like at a certain point when you are a certain age, you get to where like therapy's just like, you know, eating breakfast in the morning.
Yeah.
Need it.
Yeah.
Need it.
Everybody get a little touch of it, okay? That's good stuff.
I remember as well watching, I was very, very young when I saw the scene in Bambi, but I felt nothing. Like, I am Scottish. I mean, this is the way there are
Scottish people like pro-deer death? Like, what?
I'm so confused. I feel nothing. But Robocop, I was like, oh god, so like, I really like.
That's an intense.
That was intense.
You don't want to do that.
That scene's intense.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
I remember seeing Splash too young, and I was like, titty, you know, like, you know, you remember these things, you're like, oh, that's interesting. As a kid, you don't quite understand what you're doing, but you're being exposed to something, you're like, I don't understand it, but I guess that's cool. Like, I don't know,
It
man.
was Scotland in the 80s, and we ate a lot of microwave food. It was cold.
It's true, a lot. I've had so many Swanson dinners.
Oh, we're not decomposing forever when we're going.
No, those apple pies, they don't go away, y'all. It's like gum, they're stuck in there.
That's it forever. This is how we're going to look until the end of time. Let's hand it to fan questions, shall we?
Sure, let's do some, you guys, or would you rather listen to me talk about ball sex? Okay, ask some ball sex-oriented questions and maybe I'll get to you.
I'm all about that ball life, or not, right now, as it seems. There's a mic here, you guys, if you
Yeah, you guys, there seems to be one individual mic on this only. Oh, and there's one over here if you want to go to the outfield. The shame mic, I don't know.
The shame mic, whoever's brave enough to get up to the shame mic.
You will?
Yes.
Oh, look at this. Okay. You can cut in line there. It's like when you go to a counter and there's like 7 people in line at one register, there's none, and then you're just like, can I go? Like, is it illegal to go over there? And then you cut, and you're like, this is okay.
Although I feel like at Trader Joe's, they actively, they're like, come.
I know. Trader Joe's, they just want you to hang out there all day.
Yes.
I don't know what these people are on, but I want some.
It's very strict. Yeah. When I first got to LA, I was like, why are you smiling at me?
No.
No.
It's the Joe special.
Totally. Sorry, my friend. Hello, my love. What is your name?
I'm Peter.
Hi.
Felicia, love your work. What was your inspiration for the Guild? It was a really cool show. I liked it.
Oh, thank you. I am currently working on a reunion movie that will release the 20th anniversary in 2 years. So I will probably do Kickstarter because fuck Hollywood. But that'll be happening probably early next year. I was inspired because I was an actor and I had a couple of really good successes early in my career and then crickets. And I was so upset about that and suppressed. And I felt rejected for who I was in a very acute way. Because, listen, I'm a very specific flavor of person, and Hollywood generally doesn't love the flavor I am because it's like, I don't recognize this flavor of lady. What games her? So I basically got addicted to World of Warcraft. My brother got me into it. And I would play like 8, 9 hours a day. And I interacted with tons of people. I had also been addicted to other online games before that, like Puzzle Pirates and a couple of others. So this was a long-running thing because, again, I was homeschooled and lonely and continued to be lonely deep inside. So because I was kind of bored and sad and obviously depressed, I started doing a writing class because I'd never written before, but I was too afraid to ever start, and I did a sketch writing class because I'm like, well, I can do little sketches. And out of that came my teacher, and I made friends, and she was like, well, let's have an accountability team, you know? And I think it was The Secret, which just turned out to be like, the secret creator turned out to be a fraud and stole millions of dollars.
Yes, they
Yeah,
were.
yeah. It was a great philosophy. Will not recommend the book, but because of that book going around Hollywood, everyone like, we're going to take our destiny into. I just showed up every week for pancakes. And I was the only one who said, instead of like, I met a director here, or I'm getting my script rewritten, I played 8 hours and I rated both before. And that was made me ashamed. So I finally was like, well, let me just write something I know, and I knew gamers. So that's the only reason it got written, and I wrote it as a TV show, and when I showed it to Hollywood, again, they were like, and at that time, it was so early, people didn't even understand they could talk to each other on a computer. I'm not even kidding. They're like, so how does this work? Yeah, I'm not kidding. I'm that old. And then my friend was like, let's just do this new YouTube thing, and that's how it happened. So I love the characters. I did 6 seasons and a bunch of comics, and then I burnt out so bad that I haven't touched it since like 2013. And then just recently I was doing the Guild musical. We did a reading, and hopefully we're going to do more with that. And I got inspired with the characters again. So I have an idea for a movie. I'm going to write it. We'll see if I can get it made, and that'll be it. But thank you for watching it, no matter what. Oh, Shane Live!
Shane Live, let's go over to Shane Live.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
Come
First time I've ever been a
Shane.
pioneer, I'm excited, so.
Yeah. Shane Live. Shane. Hello, what's your name?
So I'm Heidi.
Hi.
And this year I celebrated my 40th birthday.
Happy birthday!
Thank you.
And
yeah, so I wanted to, well, I was going to ask you who is the person you would say is the geekiest you've ever met in entertainment industry, but I also just wanted to say thank you.
Oh.
My dad couldn't come to this panel because he's meeting John Rice babies, and I don't blame him for
No
prioritizing
no
them.
judgment at all.
But yeah, we love geeking out together. He loves that we are who we are, and you're a household name. And I was coming up to this panel, and he was like, "Okay, get your geek on, bitch."
Yes. I called you a bitch. That's right.
He's like, I said, "Okay, bitches, let's go."
Listen, I say I did that on Supernatural. I did Peace Out, bitches, and I have a it's a good show. I'm sure none of you will have a question about it. But because I said that, I tend to say the word and sling it around a lot, especially when I'm streaming on Twitch, and I'm like, stop it, you know you're better than this, and I'm like, wow.
Oh, he's so fun. It's better than the C word for sure.
I don't sling around the C word. That would be interesting for Americans. So the geekiest person I've ever met, wow, that's really hard, you know? I mean, I know my friend Will Wheaton is very geeky.
Yes.
And I think he's probably one of the, you know, but you'd be surprised about a lot of people play board games that you wouldn't expect. A lot of people play video games, especially younger. I mean, like, it's funny being part of a generation where even video games weren't like completely ubiquitous. And now my daughter's growing up, and she'd rather game any time of the day than play, you know, watch any TV or do literally anything else, which is not a great thing. But yeah, it's so funny that gaming has become part of culture in a way that isn't niche, isn't like strange at all. It's literally just culture, and I think it's exciting, but it also is weird for people like us, and probably people who like the generation or generation before, where it's like, well, look at these whippersnappers coming in and making what I think is cool, like my stuff's popular. Well, now we've got 8-year-olds who are just like immersed in Fortnite and Minecraft and all that stuff, and there's big movies, and I don't know. I look at it as a positive thing, but I think it's so cool that you could share that with your dad.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, thank you for asking. Yeah.
Welcome to your 40s.
Yeah.
Great decade.
Good shame questions. Over here in the popular tent. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Patrick. First, I want to say I was addicted to World of Warcraft when the Guild came out. You know, my buddies and I, we waited for it to drop every week.
Oh man, that means so much to
me.
me.
It was so funny. And so
Thank you.
my question is more, how did Dr. Horrible come about? Because also,
you know, I'm not in charge of Dr. Horrible. I was smart enough not to sell the Guild with the rights to the Guild, and so I can make a movie and a play and all that stuff now, 10 years later, you know, and that's pretty cool. Dr. Horrible happened because I cold emailed Joss Whedon because I knew him from Buffy, and thank you, it's a good show. That was my first job. And because of my relationship with him from Buffy, I just cold emailed everybody in the world about the Guild because I was like, this is clearly the best thing ever made. And he, when we were doing like a strike line for his company, Mutant Enemy, he was like, I actually watched it. And I was like, what? And he said, yeah, I want to do something like this too, because now we're unemployed and all the producers are treating us like crap, and I want to do something. And then he paired up with his brother and sister-in-law and other brother, and that's how Dr. Horrible happened. And I had 2 emails in my whole career that were like so short and so succinct to change my life. It was Joss, can you sing? Jay, that was one email. And then the other one was from Joel Hodgson from MST3K, Mr. Science Theater. Hey, would you like to be in MST3K? and I want you to be a forester. And I was like, you know, just like throwing up on my keyboard in excitement, which I should not do, it's a medical issue. Yeah, and that's how it came to me, and it was just a wonderful experiment. And like, you guys are not getting to Hollywood right now, but I promise you it's a terrible place right now. After the strikes, after the fires, after all the production leaving Los Angeles, it is like the saddest wasteland of talented people who aren't doing what they love. People are having to change jobs. People you probably really admire a lot haven't worked in multiple years. And it is just a really bad time in the industry. All the streaming stuff kind of ruined the way that people make money. AI is knocking at the door. It's very, very complicated and very challenging time to be in the industry. And what I think is going to happen is what happened with me and Dr. Horrible and the Guild. People have to create. If you're there for the art, which I am, I'm not a business person, I've proved it over and over again, but I love making art. I love making things that delight people, and I never want to just go through the gatekeepers, because the gatekeepers in Hollywood especially tend to make things that are not the things that I know that people will love. They don't like to make niche content. They don't believe in like the appeal of doing things differently. They want to do things that are proven to make money, and I get it. But I think artists are getting together and they're making stuff outside the box, and we're going to have some amazing content coming out in the next several years because people are just going to pick up a camera and make a story, just like I did. And so, you know, when I read an article now about this guy he covers the business of Hollywood, he's like, YouTubers are making multicams just as good as TV and more popular than NBC, and I'm like, I did that. I did that, already did it, great, okay, great, I'm glad you're covering them. Awesome. I'm not bitter. Anyway, thank you. Thank you. Hey, Outcasts. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Will.
Hey, Will.
Do you think there could ever be a Charlie-led supernatural spinoff?
Oh my gosh. I mean, after just haranguing Hollywood, yes, ask me. No, here's the thing. I mean, Supernatural ended 5 years ago, I think, and it's been so sad to have such a vibrant community growing, literally growing over the years, and not have a piece of that out there. And they're rebooting literally everything. I can't imagine there wouldn't be some iteration. What I would love is the Hollywood to acknowledge that you don't need to make the lead a 19-year-old girl to have a reboot. Do you know what I'm saying? I think that's where they think we need to get young people in there to make, but I think everybody just wants to see the show and wants to see the wonderful actors who, you know, and whatever iteration. Yes, bring new cast in, bring new people, but it doesn't have to center on new people to get people. I will say that the new Buffy reboot seems like it's going to be incredible, and that actor seems amazing. But for Supernatural, it's a different vibe. Like, it's about that family and the Winchesters, and outside of them, all the other actors. And so I'm hoping that, you know, they smartly look and say a franchise that continues to grow and people love it, and they do it. I wouldn't want to be the lead, to be honest with you. I don't want to work that hard. It's too much. I would say that Jared and Justin are the hardest working people, and they broke themselves with that show. They would work until like 3 a.m. on Friday and then be there at 6 a.m. on Monday. And they would do conventions on the weekends, and they would go and see their family that didn't even live in Vancouver. And so, like, God bless, just make me the mentor. I'll take care of those young people. Like, you know, they can stay up late. I'll just work 3 or 4 days a week, and I'll be the most amazing character in the world. Because there's no beating Charlie. There really isn't. So appreciate it. Thank you. Get me hired. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hello. What's your name?
Hello, my name's Alexia, and speaking of Supernatural, me and my family love Supernatural.
Yay.
I honestly cried when you died.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, why? Why did my characters die?
It wasn't great, but listen, I die a lot. Very good at it. Very killable, I've been told.
So the question is there, when you're working on the show, was there a particular moment or an episode that really stuck out with you, like even after the show ended?
Wait, what was the last part about the show ending? What was it? Could you just repeat the
What was
question?
the moment that stuck with you while working through Supernatural towards the end of the show?
Oh, toward the end of the show. Oh yeah, well, because, you know, I got brought back as alternative Charlie, Apocalypse Charlie. And, I mean, it was so nice to walk back on that set. I literally started crying. It felt like I was coming home. And, you know, I love making my own content, and I I love it. I love doing things out of the box with no boss, and that's really where my heart lies. But Supernatural was like a family to me, a safe space for me during a really stressful time. I was kind of driving myself to the ground with overwork and stress. And so being on that set during the initial run, it was just literally a refuge for me. And going back on the set, it was just like so touching and wonderful. And as a testament to how awesome Jared and Jensen are, almost all the crew was the same the whole time on that show. And that's just an amazing testament to how well they treated people, A, and what a wonderful family it was, B. And so when you see the same camera operator, the same guy at craft service and all this, it's just like, it's a family. And that's what the show was on screen and off. And that's what I loved about being on it. So as far as like being on the show toward the end, you know, it was hard because my character came back and was like very tormented, and my favorite part was I did an episode with Jared in the car where we talked about my past, and I kind of like created a bridge for him. I didn't ever get an episode to create a bridge to Dean like that as my new character, but being in the car with Jared, regardless of his broccoli farts, which were absolutely horrendous, he also showed me a lot of Instagram videos of people smashing their balls on things. Like not deliberately, but like falling off things, and I'd be like, what? Keep it, please, please. Ah, no, I don't want to see people falling and busting their balls, but kind of do. Other than that, it was a really awesome, it felt like getting back in the groove of my character and just being part of the family in a way where I didn't have to be like closed up and hostile. I wish I'd gotten that opportunity with Dean in an episode toward the end, but you know, it's not my show, and I'm there to service the wonderful story that they told. So yeah, thank you for that question.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. What's your name? You're way too well dressed for being in the wasteland, but okay.
Hi, my name is Brienne. I was wondering if you had a favorite funny memory from behind the scenes during your time on Supernatural.
Boy, I have a lot. I think the funniest one is always tries to ask, what did Jared and Jensen prank you? And like until a certain point, almost toward the end of the run of OG Charlie, I was like, what are you talking about? I've never seen them prank anyone. They're so sweet and so gentlemanly. And Jared can, you know, he picked me up like with one arm like 7 times. Like he's a tree of a man. Like seriously, he's so sweet. And I was like, they are so respectful. And they're from Dallas. They're Texas boys, you know? So they are Texas raised. They are very respectful to ladies. And then my last episode before I got killed off, I acted with Misha. And during his close-up, doing something very heartfelt, Jared was literally giving him a wet willy and a wedgie at the same time. And I was like, what is going on here? And like when we were sitting on the sideline after shooting that, I turned to Misha and I was like, how do you put up with that? And he's like, oh, I don't know. So like getting to experience the pranks, not myself, was very fun. But I would not want to be Misha. He's very hot, so it might be fun for a minute, but no, thank you. Anyway, thank you for the question. Thank you. All right, bye. What's your name? What's up?
JP. And not so silent Bob stole my question about Dr. Gorgazingla, but I'll go ahead and ask, what was it like working with Neil Patrick Harris in that project?
He is such a diva. Oh my God. Finally, I can unwrap what I felt for so long. My God, like just the writers that he had on this web series were like 7-page long, like only red tomatoes was a stupid thing to put in there. Like most tomatoes are red. No, I'm just kidding. He's amazing. He's literally one of the most kind, talented, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I was so intimidated because I was kind of in love with him from Doogie Howser. And so like, 7-year-old me was like, and just, you know, being that experienced, him and Nathan just being so experienced, and I will say that I grew up in a cage, as I said before, and I really wasn't around people, and my confidence about my acting was like super low. And so being intimidated was just my go-to, and I had a real anxiety disorder that was absolutely out of control until probably like 5 years ago. So definitely I'm glad I got working on that medically. But at the same time, they were so kind and supportive. It made it so fun to kind of release all of that and just be in the moment. I won't say that I was totally comfortable all the time because they're just so consummate. And I will say that Neil Patrick Harris walks like a panther. And if you ever watch him walk, you will agree with me. And Nathan is just Nathan. Like, he is the best hugger in the business. Well, Doug Jones, it's a tie between them. It's a different. Doug is sort of like, he's more rubber bands, and Nathan's more like a teddy bear, you know? They're good hugs. Anyway, thank you for your questions.
Thank you.
Felicia, we go. Go. 5 minutes. Give me a speech.
All right, yeah, let's do it. Yeah, study hall. What's up?
Hi, my name is Abby,
Hi.
and I wanted to say thank you for playing Charlie, because I kind of found it during like a weird time, and it kind of like just like made me happy. I'm just like, oh my God, it's Charlie!
Thank you so much.
My question was, I wanted to ask you, what was it like coming on like the first set? Because like when I first found you, it was like during the Leviathan series, and you're just like this happy-go-lucky character, and like faced with like issues. Like, how is that like for you to come on the set and do that?
You know, I only took that role because it was season 7. They offered it to me when I was launching my company, Geek and Sundry, and I was like, I can't leave town. Thank you. I can't leave town. And I read the script and I was like, well, I have to do this. A, because of the character. B, because it's season 7. They're going to get canceled this season. And so the fun part of that was that the first day of shooting was just me doing the dancing, walking around, doing all that stuff. And so it kind of felt like my set. So I naively was confident because it was just all about me. And it was kind of a privilege to be able to start, you know, as a character, because every character should be all about them, right? Even if you have one line, that person has a life, right? But it's hard as an actor to do that on a set that you're not like, you know, you don't own. So yeah, it was an amazing thing, and the people who directed, and Johnny who directed it, just made me feel at home. And that's like, when you're relaxed, you do your best work, creatively and in person. So yeah, thank you. All right, we're gonna speed it. We've got 3 minutes, let's go. We're gonna do it. We have 4 questions, let's get it.
What was it like getting to work on the final season of Buffy, a show that so many girls looked up to, all the strong, independent women on that show?
It was amazing. I'm still friends, very good friends with several people, Allison and Tom and several other, you know, awesome officers, Joss. It was great. It was a little mournful in that it was coming to an end, and I know they wanted to do a spin-off with Faith, and everybody got excited about that, but then Eliza decided not to do it, which is fine, it's her life. But you know, there was a little up and down, but I will say that spirits were always high, and the fact that it was just, we all kind of knew, you know, this was special. It was a special group of people, so thank you for that question. Over here, last one in the ball field, whatever is up there. Yep, hi.
What was it like working on Magicians?
It was great because I was like the old one. And I was nursing my baby at the time, so my tits were huge. Hi, next question.
Hi, I'm Darren. First of all, I know it's quick, but thank you for everything you've done. You got me through my teenage years, and very few people have impacted me the way you have. I bond with my siblings and family very much through video games. I've watched hundreds of hours of co-optitude.
Yes, that's my favorite.
What is your favorite co-op game to either play with your brother or someone else, or even your daughter?
Stardew. You never have to leave. Last question. Red shirt. Hello. Are you cheating in? Whatever. Let's do it.
So how did you react when you first got the moniker Queen of the Nerds?
Dude, it's an eye roll, man. You never want to label because then people are like, ooh, she thinks she's a queen. I am now the Grand Dowager of the nerds, and I'm happy I will have that title until death. Don't you try to take it away from me. Thank you so much, you guys.